Yo, what's up everybody? Deathmaumau here, back after a few years, and I wanted to do something with this channel again because I got motivated to do stuff at the time and I got sick of doing the stuff, so I didn't do the stuff, but now I want to do the stuff. And I thought before I do the new stuff I should address some of the old stuff. More specifically, in fact, the Salo review, which is a stupid little review and I don't have the same opinions anymore because it's been a couple years. I thought I'd address some of the comments and my opinions now. Okay, so let's look at some of these comments and see what people were saying. So first off we have Stefano Marisi, who says, yeah, you didn't understand the film. Why humanity? Why is there so much idiots in the world? Which is nice. I did understand the film, sort of. I didn't get the allegory. It's pretty ham-fisted actually, looking back on it now, but it's still a boring film. Bape says, how can you say the film is wank? It's awesome, which I replied to, but basically I can find a film boring. It's well made, but it's boring. Okay. Raymond Patrick says, the film is basically a documentary of the elite behind closed doors. Is it though? Because it's a Marquis de Sade adaptation used to be a metaphor. It's not a documentary at all. You can keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. Zubair Barakstar says, I found it boring, disgusting and not horrifying at all. The great granddaddy of Two Girls One Cup. No, not really. Two Girls One Cup's just fetish porn. Salo, although it is based on erotic literature by Marquis de Sade, it's more of a great granddaddy to something like 50 Shades of Grey, if anything, but that doesn't use a metaphor at all. So it's its own thing really. Just Artsy Things says, I'll never watch this movie and I don't see why people would, unless just curious and want to analyse it, but it doesn't seem to have much depth. I don't know, it does have depth. The depth isn't very clever, I don't think, with how Pasolini approached it. You're taking the stance of Roger Ebert saying you'll never watch it. I'm not going to say that I'll never watch a film, but it's your opinion. Hype Warrior says the people involved in making films like these, including this film, should be imprisoned or executed. Strongly disagree with you, Hype Warrior. For my extended project qualification in school, I did it on the topic of film censorship, and I don't think films should be censored, and it's a political message that Pasolini was going for, and he's not a bad director by any means. He's made great films such as The Gospel According to St. Matthew and Canterbury Tales is alright. I don't like the film, I find it boring, but it should definitely be out there, and filmmakers like this shouldn't be prosecuted because they didn't break any laws. Christos Goulios says, do more of this videos. Okay, I might do. Sam Jarmin says, I feel like you missed a trick by saying whether the film deserves death by Mau Mau or not. Well, you got my username, a couple of people in the comments did, and I might do a video on The League Gentlemen in the future because it's a very clever series that I'd like to try and introduce a couple more people to. Fabian Jollywig says, it was an absolute masterpiece, obviously went way above your head. Well, I have to disagree because I still find it boring on rewatches, which I have rewatched it a couple times since making this review 2 years ago, so it's still in my memory. And you can't make the argument that I don't like slow films or meaningful films, because slow burns such as Tarkovsky's Stalker or Andrei Rublev I find very engaging, and they're longer than Salo and they're probably a lot slower than Salo. I just think it's a boring film, and despite the political message and whether you agree or disagree with it, I find it boring. It's not a masterpiece to me. Again, The Gospel According to St. Matthew is a very good film by Pasolini. I don't think this is. I think there's other films that deserve more recognition, but this seems to be his most famous, which I contributed to, I guess, now by creating this review of it instead of one of his other films. But I don't think it's that good. Mr. Naughty Cat said, I never made it to the end of this movie. It put me off food for days. I don't find it that disgusting. The only disgusting bit is the end, I feel, that's really well done with the special effects of like cutting the eyeball and the cut out of the tongue, I think there is. I think those are two of them. That's pretty hard to watch. Other than that, I guess The Circle of Shit has a few moments, but overall I don't think it's that bad compared to other films. Fast and Bulbous, nice username, nice Captain Beefheart reference, says, the Englishman said, we do not bow to savages. Again, might do League of Gentlemen review in the future. Thanks for getting the reference. Kapapapakaka, the garlic bread man, says, now watch Boku no Pico. I did have a reaction video of me watching the first two Boku no Picos up on the channel that I did for a bet about 3.5 years ago, I'd say. but I took it down because it wasn't very good and it was a boring video and it was getting views, and I don't think it should deserve to get views because it was crap. As far as the review goes, I could do, but I don't know whether I want to because it's a bit shit really. I don't actually know whether I ever want to watch it again. Okay, so basically where I stand now that I've finished with the comments, is I get the metaphor now. It's a pretty obvious metaphor. I don't know why I didn't get it before, but I get it now, but I still find the film boring, and I've rewatched it, so I just find it boring. It's not a film for me. Go watch some of Pasolini's other films instead of this one. If you like disturbing films, there are more disturbing films out there. It's not that good a film, and quite a lot of my points still stand. Some of them don't, but quite a lot of them do. I hope to see you in a more small amount of time between this and another video, because I want to make more videos this year on this channel. That's one of the things that I've decided to do. So catch you next time.